Hello, YouTube. We're ready for a new series, and if you haven't guessed already, it's dealing with Fantastic Four number 5, the first appearance of Dr. Doom. I'm here with my nephew and fellow YouTuber, Angelo the Comic Guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, do me a favor. Go over there and check it out. I'll leave the link below and give him a sub. He has some great content, and he is someone who is following in his uncle Jerry the Jitterbug's path. He loves Golden Age books. Say hello, Angie.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so what we got here is Fantastic Four number 5. I also want to do another shout out to Bronzeville Comics. Now, that is Jim's channel. I'm sure everyone who watches my channel follows his channel. He is a great guy, and he is a staple of the comic community. Now, Jim reached out to me, and he wanted me to try to conserve this book because, as you will see, it has a few issues. And what I did was I met Jim at a local comic show in New Jersey, which is the Clifton Comic Book Show, which is a great show that I enjoy. And do you like it, Angie?
I love the Clifton show.
Yes, you do. You definitely bought a lot of books last time at that show. And Jim wanted me to try to make this book as best as possible, but within a conserved grade. So one of the major issues with this book, if you did not see already, is that a portion of the top cover is ripped off. And Jim is very lucky to have this portion of the book, because this is something that we can fix. We can reattach this, right, Angie? Angelo the Comic Guy? Yes, we can. Now, if you sent the book in my opinion, I'm not an expert, I'm just an amateur having fun. If you sent the book in with this piece that was not connected, CGC most likely would send this piece back in a separate envelope, and they would grade the book without the portion of the top of the cover connected. If you tried to connect this piece of the cover with, let's just say, some type of archival tape or tape in general, it would come back a restored grade, because CGC does not allow you to reconnect pieces of the cover or any part of the book and it will be deemed a universal grade. They want things separate. And I had a Captain Marvel, or actually it was a Wiz Comics, that I reattached a portion of the book and with archival tape, and it came back a purple label, and I researched it, and anything reattached will come back restored. But if you do it conserved, do you know about conserved, Angie?
Yes, I do.
If you do it in a conserved fashion, which I am going to do, you will get a conserved label, which is what Jim and I want. And let me talk a little bit about what Jim and I discussed, because I want to be transparent. I don't want to seem like I am being dishonest at all. And the key issue that I want to discuss before I start working on this book is the loyalty or the ethical duties that an individual has when working on books for third parties. What does this mean? And please indulge me and watch this upload until the end. When someone is retained or someone is hired to work on a book, or if they do it for free like me, the loyalty is twofold. The loyalty, number one, should be to the customer or to the owner of the book. The second loyalty should be to the collecting hobby in general. So what does Jerry the Jitterbug mean? I'll tell you what I mean. I mean that if I am going to work on this book for a customer, a friend, or whoever it is, my loyalty is to that individual. Now, there has been some debate recently, which I may have triggered in my channel, which I may have responded in my channel, where individuals, whoever they may be, no matter how well they do in conserving books, no matter how they are deemed as being one of the best or the top conservationists or restorers, it's irrelevant. The issue is that CGC is an adversary. CGC is not someone that if you own a book, you owe any loyalty to at all. They are a third-party grading company. They are an independent institution that is adversarial. So by you writing notes to CGC when you submit books, you are basically circumventing the loyalty that you have with the owner of the book, and you are putting CGC as the primary institution that you have loyalty to. And if anyone who works on books for you for money puts CGC before the interests of the book owner first, I don't care how good they are. I don't care how wonderful they are. I don't care how beautiful their pictures are about leaf casting. You should find someone else, because their loyalty should not be to CGC. It should be to the owner of the book. And if they're going to tell you that they're going to rat you out and they're going to list everything that was done to the book and give it to CGC, their loyalty is to CGC, not to the owner of the book. Now, let's talk in general terms now. I understand the sanctity of possession of these, in my opinion, historical artifacts. To me, they are historical artifacts. And I do understand that if you do work on books, it's not nice to try to do work and not divulge the work that you did to potential buyers. That's fine, and I am all for that. Are you for that, Angie, the comic guy?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if that is an agreement, Mr. Angelo, I am an advocate for that. So, if someone wants to write a note, they should take that note, rip it up, and maybe throw it in the toilet before they send it in to CGC?
Yep, or put it back in the envelope and send it back.
That's right, because if you get a book that you did work on, and you are an individual of such high moral standards, if you get a book back and CGC does not list the items that you did work on, that's your obligation. You can always send the book back and write a note and say, CGC, you didn't pick up leaf casting, you didn't pick up aqueous bath, you didn't pick up deacidification, you didn't pick up all these things. And then you have the obligation. If you send a note in prior to the book being graded, it's sort of very silly, in my opinion. You're taking away the neutral party. You're taking away the expert opinion where someone can get a book and evaluate it free and clear of any influence. And those who say to write a note, you are persuading an unbiased expert opinion by you writing the note. And that's my 2 cents on the matter. What do you think? Do you think it's a good opinion, Angie?
I think it's a great opinion.
And thank you, and I really appreciate you saying it's great. I think it's the right opinion. Loyalty first to the customer, loyalty second to the hobby of comic book collecting. You can always disclose what you did on the book after it was graded. There's nothing wrong with that. Those who tell you to disclose what you were or what you did to the book prior to submission, they're misguided and their allegiance is off. So, I know I spoke, I know I wanted to vent, and that's my opinion on the subject, and I'm not talking about anyone in particular. So what are we going to do with this book? What we're going to do with this book is, number one, I have to remove this book or the cover from the interior. So we're going to do that. And as you can see, the book is in pretty good shape. I can see right here there was some water damage, and it is connected to both of the staples and the book. But I need to evaluate this a little bit further. So the first thing that we're going to do is I am going to dry clean this book. Do you think that's a good approach, Angelo?
Yes, it is.
So we're going to dry clean the book. And after we dry clean it, we are going to assess it further. Now, as I see here, there is something, it looks like paper that was resting on the book and it actually stuck on the back cover. That's something most likely we can remove, but we are going to try our best to make this the best conserve grade as possible. And I am looking forward to working on Jim's book. And Jim, Bronzeville Comics, I am sorry that if I used your book to vent my thoughts on conservation, and I am sorry that I used, look at that. That is awesome right there. If this upload is for anything, it is now on sale. Need we say more? That's Hulk #1. What a wonderful piece of history. And because of the history that I feel this book establishes, I will treat you with the utmost respect. And anything I do to you, I will try to make it where it's preserved for the future. And I'm not going to write a note to CGC. Okay, guys, stay tuned for future uploads, and thanks for hearing my rant in relation to notes to CGC. Say goodbye, Angie.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.